Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is episode 5 of your Columbus Blue Jackets franchise mode, as today we got another big episode ahead of us, as today we're heading into free agency. As you guys already seen by the last episode, we had a chance to sign Palmieri, Hyman, Tyson Barrie, and so many other players, but sadly a lot of them are no movement clauses, which honestly does not match with my plan. But before we get into today's episode, I'd like to just say, if you are new to the channel, make sure to slap that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. And also, sorry guys that I haven't been able to make any franchise mode videos in the past little bit. I haven't really been able to record any just because of the fact that I've been so hammered on with school, but we're almost there. We're a couple weeks away until I head back home, which means worse internet, but means I'm able to do a lot more YouTube stuff for you guys, which I am very, very excited about. And playoff hockey is going to be coming here for the Oilers here very soon. So anyways, instead of me babbling on about my personal life, let's get into today's episode with the Columbus Blue Jackets. So in the last one, we were looking at what we should really do here at free agency. As you guys all seen, we had Hyman, we had Palmieri. But the problem with picking up these two guys, Zach Hyman has a have no movement, have no trade clause, which honestly would not be a bad idea for Zach Hyman. He's a good scorer, he's a good producer, not too bad of a defensive player. He's not too bad physical either. He just plays an honestly a very versatile game and wouldn't be a bad idea for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And you also have Kyle Palmieri, who is just a full-blown no movement clause, but at 7 years, it's just a bad idea. But I was thinking more and more about it on what we should do, and I was thinking that, you know, this Columbus Blue Jackets team has one thing going right now, and that's its youth. Our youth is going to be absolute crazy here in the next couple of years. We have Kent Johnson, who we just selected 5th overall here in this 2021 draft, which I am super excited to have on this team here in Columbus. He's going to be a very, very exciting player. Not just that, we already have a very young core here with Laine, Bjorkstrand, Domi, Roslovic, Benstrom, Texier, Jenner. Well, not really Jenner, but he's still pretty young. We also have Fudi and Marchenko, who will most likely be ready for next year as well. Marchenko, the right-wing sniper, which I'm really, really excited to have on the team. He had an amazing season with the Cleveland Monsters, and I'm excited to see what he'll do here. Even though our defense, you know, is definitely not our strongest suit prospect-wise, our best prospect right now is Raji, I think it is. That's our best prospect moving forward, and Gabriel Carlson, but he'll be ready to go next year. Same with Andrew Peeke as well. And we also need to look at goaltending. So I was like, you know what, let's go for cheap, because that's going to be the biggest thing for us right now, is that we need to go really, really cheap. We can't go with really expensive players. You know, we can't go with a Zach Hyman. We got to go with players that will help us out, that will fit our scheme, and will just be, you know, help us push to the playoffs. So the first player that I had on my list was Mr. Blake Coleman, who wants 3 years at 4.6. He had 21 goals this past season, 29 assists, 50 points there for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He had 6 power play points as well, so he could be a guy that could go on the power play, and he was absolutely killer once the Tampa Bay Lightning got into the playoffs as well. And he only played 12 minutes of ice time out there. So I think Blake Coleman would be a perfect guy. Now we'll have to see what type of contract Blake Coleman will want from this contract. Now, we were also looking at Scott Laughton and a couple other players, but the best player was Blake Coleman, who wants no trade clause and nothing for a no movement clause. So Blake Coleman, we will be locking you up 3 years at $4.725 million for Blake Coleman. Welcome to the Columbus Blue Jackets, my man. And then also, the other guy that I wanted guaranteed is Adam Pelch. The best defenseman out of this, you know, whole free agent class this year, and Adam Pelch is the best idea for us. 5 years at 5.35. It's a cheap deal. He is a great defensive defenseman, plays a very physical game, has great defensive analytics, and just honestly would be a great player for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I know I said that we were mostly looking at Tyson Barrie and maybe an offensive defenseman. But when we spin the wheel on Barrie and Vatanen, they were both no movement clause. We just spin the wheel now on Adam Pelch, and also he has no movement clause and no trade clause. So that is absolutely perfect, as I accidentally backed out of the menu. So Adam Pelch, he's the cheapest defenseman out there. He's cheaper than what Tyson Barrie will be, and we could get him for a nice 5-year deal. So Adam Pelch, welcome to the team. And then goaltending wise, we needed to figure out what we were going to do for goaltending. Whether we were going to lock up, Grubauer, who, had an season. Didn't do too bad, but I think if we give him a really good, goaltending, or really good defense, he had a .906 save percentage and a 3.04 goals against. Now, yes, we're locking up a man that, might be a guy that, might not work out very well for us, but I think Philip Grubauer will absolutely work for us. Frederik Andersen had a good year, but we're almost paying him near to $8 million, and I'd rather get a guy that we can lock up right now and keep him for a long time, and it is a full no movement clause for Grubauer, but I'm willing to give Philip Grubauer a full no movement clause. So we got the big free agent names: Grubauer, Adam Pelch, and not just that, the winger Blake Coleman, who could also play center as well. That's what we're going to be going after. That is our big free agent targets that I was thinking about. Coleman could play alongside Roslovic or Atkinson, or he could go up on the top line to play with Domi and Laine. Coleman could do a lot of things for us that makes me, really excited to be a fan as the Columbus Blue Jackets if we were to pick up Blake Coleman. And not just that, Blake Coleman plays a very good defensive game, which, is something I want to continue here in Columbus, is that good defensive hockey here in Columbus. And Blake Coleman decides to go off to the Boston Bruins, so we get absolutely shamed in the face, and Coleman tells us to piss off. So the next best guy, I guess. Oh man, that really ticks me off that he just did that. Should we go back after Nick Foligno then? Sign him for 3 years. He is 33 years old. Oh man, that really does piss me off that we practically just got slapped in the face. Now, we could go after a young Zach Sanford. He's not as well defensively, 49 points this past season, 8 points on the power play. Actually, not too bad defensively either. I think he would be cheaper and better than Scott Laughton, and we could just get him to a 1-year deal, which I wouldn't mind doing for Zach Sanford, just getting him to a 1-year deal. I think we had him during the Seattle series. He was very consistent there, and from this past season that he just had with the St. Louis Blues, he had very good defensive numbers, 49 points, 16 goals. I think he could be a very useful player. A no trade clause for 1 year. I'll take that for Zach Sanford. It sucks that we weren't able to get the player that we really wanted in Blake Coleman, but hopefully we'll be able to get Zach Sanford. Philip Grubauer decides to go to Chicago, and Adam Pelch is going to New Jersey. So every single player that we have handed a contract out have legit told us, why, guys? We are a prime location. We're not really a prime location, Peyton. It's Columbus, Ohio. Who the hell wants to come and play in Columbus, Ohio, bro? Oh, man, we have really just got to gut it here, man. We really just have. Damn, bro. I think the next best bet, we haven't even spent $1 yet. We basically, every player that we have handed a contract to have, told us to go stuff ourselves, which, is not idealistic right now. I think you could go after Jake McCabe, but you're not guaranteed that he's going to be a good defenseman for you. Adam Pelch was a really good defenseman. We're missing out on a really good defenseman. I think Niklas Hjalmarsson's the best bet, going after a veteran. Hopefully he'll sign with the team instead of going to Dallas. But Adam Pelch tells us to go piss ourselves. Oh, God, man. Why is everyone telling us to go fuck ourselves, man? No trade clause for Hjalmarsson. I'll take that. Goaltending, who else do we got here? Anderson, Ronta, Olmark. Let's go after Anderson. Hopefully, maybe he'll sign with the team. Is that your Demko and RFA? He's a UFA. We could go possibly after Demko. How well has Demko been doing, though? Oh, yeah, he didn't have a very good season. We're looking for a good goalie. Korpisalo and, those guys didn't have a good year. We're looking for a goalie that did have a good year, and that can be a very reliable goalie to be our starting goalie for this year. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind taking a bet on Anderson 2 years at what it would have to be a lot cheaper. So most likely he will not sign with the team is what I'm guessing, and we're gonna have to go with Korpisalo. Wants a full-blown no movement clause, but right now I'm trying to do at least everything to kind of salvage this team. So Anderson, Hjalmarsson, and Zach Sanford. Hopefully we get those guys, because I mean, my lord, if we don't, this team is going to look very bare bones this year. We also need to get a third liner, play some depth for us as well. Some defensive minutes to be that guy to play alongside of Texier and Benstrom. Afalio, I'm liking him right away. I'm really liking Afalio. I'm really liking Afalio. Because we already got Benstrom, a goal scorer. Afalio could play, you know, a decent game, 16. Really did good in Vancouver there. Not bad defensive numbers, and didn't make it to the playoffs. I like Afalio. Oh, maybe there's somebody else, though. Let's keep looking. Yeah, there's not very much left there, boys, unless we want to lock up Brandon Saad or go after Tanner Pearson. Yeah, there's nothing very much this free agency. You know, like, this free agency is just really kind of dicked on us this season here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Like, I feel like it's a foretelling sign for us to just, you know, sit back and rebuild. I have no movement, have no trade clause for Afalio. I mean, I'll take it for 2 years, 1 year no movement, 1 year not. We need to build up the depth somehow right now with this team, and Afalio will be a nice addition to the team. So Anderson takes his talents off to Detroit, which is what I kind of thought he was going to go do. So I think the best bet is just to go with Merzlikins and Korpisalo right now, unless we want to go after a Ronta. But we have to legit lock him up for 3 years, and didn't really showcase himself very well. So I think, you know, we go with our goaltending tandem again with Korpisalo and Merzlikins. Hjalmarsson signs. Zach Sanford goes off to Montreal. Why are all these guys just telling me to go fuck myself? Can you just sign a contract with me? How many people are just gonna stuff me in my face, bro? How many? Who do we go after now? There's absolutely no one out in this market that we could possibly go after. I'm not going after Ovechkin. Ovechkin is not going to be a fucking Nick Foligno then. We're bringing you back then, man. Jesus Christ. Could try to go after somebody else, and everyone's... If it's a no movement clause, we can't go after Nick Foligno. No. No. Not doing that. James Schwartz wouldn't be a bad replacement, but like I said, we're not signing any more no movement clauses or anything like that, especially since we're getting down to the last bare bones. Another guy that wants a no movement. This is really fucking frustrating, man. This is the most frustrating free agency I think I've ever been in my life. Ever. The most frustrating thing right now is watching this team just not be able to sign absolutely no one right now. Absolutely no one that could actually physically help this team. Joel Armia could fit all the lines. How well did he play with the Montreal Canadiens this past season? 26 points. Not terrible. But, I mean, who else do we go after? And plus, we don't have to spin the wheel on him. And Andrew Kopp, I guess, as well, you could go after. But it's another two-way forward. Do we want another two-way? He didn't really do that great defensively either. Same numbers. I think Armia is a good case, too, because we don't want to go after anyone else. Like, we don't want to go after Anderson or Hoffman. Armia, then. Armia for a year. Oh, man. What, man? I have no fucking words to say to this team right now. This is actually, I think, the most frustrating free agency I've ever been in my life on this game. We have legit not signed anyone but Niklas Hjalmarsson. That is the only signing we have gotten in this free agency. Is Hjalmarsson. That fucking blows, man. They're trying to build up a competent team, you know? Like, actually trying to build up a competent team to the point where, you know, we could push and be, there's no way. Andrew Kopp got picked up as well. Yeah, man, this is the worst case scenario. To have absolutely no one to sign, no one to fit really in the squad. Carl Soderberg is the next best bet. 1 year, 2.2. We need a defensive depth at least. Like some right-handed defenseman to come into the squad and play. Take some ice time. Like an offensive defenseman, actually. I would not mind an offensive defenseman. There's not really anything out there unless we want Gustav Forsling. God, this sucks, man. This really does fucking blow. Like, there's absolutely no one out here. I'm just going to sign Jason Demers for 2 years at 2.4. Hopefully he signs with the team. If not, then, well, we're, like, legit stuck at $20 million. And we have, we could spend up until $5 million. And, yeah, Jason Demers doesn't want to play with our team. I think it's rebuilding time, honestly. Not a lot of people are coming to Columbus, Ohio right now. Like, honestly, usually I get a bit more success than what I'm getting here. But this is legit been the worst free agency I think I've ever had in a video game. Especially, going through all the Seattle stuff. We've never had this bad of a free agency before, where we weren't able to sign anyone. There we go. Finally, we got a couple people onto the team. Armia and Mr. Trevor Van Riemsdyk have signed to the team. So at least we got a little bit of players, going for us a bit. But, I mean, we didn't really get what we wanted, like, this was one of the most painful free agencies, and I'm going to say that a lot. I mean, Carl Soderberg just told us to go fuck ourselves again, but legit, this has been, I've never hopped in and out of this menu so many times to look at so many different free agents to, find that perfect fit for this team. It's nuts how many people really don't want to sign here with the Columbus Blue Jackets right now. We'll sign you even to 2 years, Adam Lowry. Hopefully you sign, because we need somebody right now to play defense. We got no one to play some defense on this damn team. Brock McGinn will sign you as well for some extra depth, and we'll sign another backup goalie for some extra depth down in there in the minors. Patrik Laine, no, we could get him back into the Columbus Blue Jackets organization. Maybe he could actually be something useful next season, but yeah, this was embarrassing. This was not what we wanted it to go this season. We wanted to have a bit of a more, successful offseason. But this was not a successful offseason, to say the least. Brock McGinn, welcome. There we go. So at least we got some people signed to the team. At least we bolstered up the team a little bit. But, yeah. God. Yeah, so this is what we're going to be looking like right now. We have $16 million in salary cap, but we got Laine, Bjorkstrand, Domi, Atkinson, Roslovich, Benstrom, Armia, Texie, Lowry, Jenner, Robinson, McGinn. And then defense. Our defense is our strongest suit. Our offensive depth is just nothing there. And then Merzlikins and Korpisalo, of course, is our starting tandem. Well, maybe we could bring in a centerman then instead of Roslovich. But, I mean, I don't want to do that because I like our centerman future, with my hair is bugging me. And picking up another damn playmaker. What is another damn playmaker going to do to this team? And he's not going to sign with us anyways, right? Like, the thing is, you look at the lineups right now. I really want to focus on Roslovich being that second line centerman, which is the reason why, I wanted to get Blake Coleman or Zach Sanford to be the wingers for those players. But whatever, we'll just go with the team that we have. I think that was just, oh my god, this hair is really just poking in my eyeball. Threw my hat right off, and now my hair's all angry at me. Sorry, hair, jeez. But, this was a telling sign that, the hockey gods were like, all right, Peyton, this is not your year free agency wise. And I feel like, this was a telling sign that we might need to start rebuilding this team slowly. Actually, Jenner's a perfect captain for this team. Even though he might not be here, he is actually a perfect captain to be the captain of this team. Even though I don't think... let me guys know what we should do for the captaincy. Let me guys know in the comments section below what we should do next and who should be the captain of the Columbus Blue Jackets. But let's take a look at the forwards. So here's our forward corp. Laine, Bjorkstrand, Domi, which I really like that. Roslovic, Atkinson, Benstrom, Armia, and then the rest of the depth just kind of trails off a little bit. But Liam Foudy is ready, and Kevin Stenlund is ready as well. So that is exciting to see. I think Marchenko's already up. He's an 80 overall as well. So I don't think we need Stenlund then. So that's exciting to see. Defensively, Werenski, yeah, we got all the top forward guys. And then Van Riemsdyk, Carlson, Cocoon. And also Andrew Peeke is also ready this year. So we're going to have to figure out that. And then Korpisalo and Merzlikins. Venäläinen's also ready. So should we play him this year? Maybe dump off Korpisalo or Merzlikins. Because we all know Merzlikins struggled last season. And maybe going with Venäläinen and Korpisalo. But man, I don't know. The goaltending's still sketchy to me, in my opinion. So I like Armia up there on that top line. Atkinson there. Oh, man. Our coach is actually fitting the squad perfectly. I want Benstrom there, though. That's the problem. Can we actually get... Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. I actually really enjoy that. So we can put McGinn over here. There we go. Okay. This team actually doesn't look that bad then, honestly. The way that we built out the depth. I don't know if Marchenko's really going to fit this team, though, this year. He's a depth forward still. He's not very good defensively, which is going to be a big problem because we need to play our best defensive hockey if we're going to be winning games. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have Marchenko play down in the AHL for another year. Let him develop. And this is how the lineup will be for the forward corp. Laine, Domi, Armia. Armia, he's a solid defensive guy. Can play a little bit of physicality. Can get us some goals. Can play up on that top line perfectly. Then Bjorkstrand, Roslovic, Atkinson. Because we could even throw, I mean, Armia does way better. And then Benstrom, Foudy, Texier, which I really enjoy that because Foudy is the future of this team, especially playmaking-wise. He was one of our big first-round picks. And then we're also developing Texier as well. So we have a very young third line. And then just a defensive third line with Lowry, or fourth line of Lowry, Jenner, and McGinn, which I really enjoy. Defensively, I want a Hjalmarsson up with Werenski, Garakova with Jones, and then Van Riemsdyk Carlson does not work at all. Wow. Peeke, does Peeke work there? Nope. Cocoon, does he work there? Yep. So... I don't think Carlson, I don't think a lot of those defensemen really work for the team. So that's good to know. And then Merzlikins and Korpisalo are a tandem to probably start the year off. So let me guys know in the comment section below what you guys want to see. Because I'm not going any further but for here. Because honestly, we got to take a look at what we got to do. There's a lot of big questions at the Columbus Blue Jackets that we got to take a look at. Honestly, it's a warning sign that, you know, we weren't able to get anybody in free agency, that absolutely nobody wanted to come to the Columbus Blue Jackets, which concerns me. Also, should we play Marchenko? What should we do there? And what should we do this season? Because we're probably going to get up to the trade deadline. Should we be a seller? Should we be a buyer? I don't know what we're going to really be. I guess we'll have to see how well this team performs if, you know, Merzlikins actually plays good. Or should we maybe make a deal for, you know, a defenseman or somebody like that as my camera shuts off? Should we go after maybe some defenseman? Should we do something like that? I don't know. Let me guys know in the comments section below. What should we do? Should we go after a goalie? Just anything and everything. Comment that down below. But for right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.